Yo, what up Goon Squad? It's your boy FrankieFresh. In this video, I'll be going over the best starter skills for Day 1 Sorc. Hopefully this video helps all you Slytherin princesses from spamming trade for reset tokens. The noob suit this Sorc is using gives a total of 27 skills and is very obtainable on Day 1. We are using a memory staff and a 50% FCR Archon base. This should be your go-to Day 1 and is amazing for only a lum. Lore for the mask, enlightenment for the armor. This armor now rolls with +2 guaranteed Sorc skills with 20% FCR. Hopefully you receive at least a pull rune from your Nightmare or Hellforge. A random skill Ami, 2 10% FCR rings, and the rest of the gear I just gambled from Nightmare Act 1 Geed and Charcy right after I finished Act 5 Hell. Let's start with the Cold Tree. Blizzard actually surprised me at 2800 top end damage. The damage was amazing and I had no problem cleaning up the cow farm. I gave Blizzard a solid A+ on the Rhykker scale, but personally, spamming Blizzard and running around in circles just isn't my thing. And that brings me to a much personal skill, Ice Barrage. This skill gets you in the action right away, and I had no idea that Ice Barrage was a diamond in the rough. Even though the sheet damage was only showing 1.1k, this skill slaps. S+ tier for any Day 1 Sorceress. Next on the list was Season 2's go-to, Frozen Orb. Ah yes, the vanilla classic, but the damage has been nerfed early and now scales better late game. The top end damage is sitting at 950 with +27 skills. And for all of you Frozen Orb heroes saying, well, you need 117% FCR when using the skill. Well, this setup that I'm using hits that breakpoint. I decided to give it a B+. Next is Frost Nova. The top end damage was 2200. After testing, I felt like it was very viable Day 1, but I would suggest skipping this skill until you're more well-rounded with gear later on. Just a B from me. Let's move on to the Lightning skill tree. The current talk of the town has been all about T-Storm and Nova.
Oh, I love T-Storm. T-Storm, Nova, oh my gosh, it's so good.
But let me warn you, as a starter build, it's a hard pass for me. The sheet damage from both skills seemed promising until I saw it in action. I decided to give it a C, but if you get yourself an Act 3 Lightmerk and you're able to keep him alive on Day 1, this build could bump up to a B. Chain Lightning and Lightning has some sniping capability, but that AoE is lacking, at least in the early game. I rated this starter as a D for dog shit. Do not play, don't touch, don't even think of it. Last but not least, we have the Fire Tree.
It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot, I'm gonna take my clothes off.
Hydra is one of the safest skills you could do. If you like playing more passive, this skill might be for you, but I found it lacking a bit. Decided to give it a C for can you increase the duration by 1 second please? You may want to test this next skill out for yourself, but Meteor is horrible now. I had high expectations and boy was I disappointed. The skill was mana hungry, I felt like I was potting 24/7 and the damage was not there. D+, maybe. Fireball and Combustion. Let me start off by saying if you want to play a fire build, play this. The playstyle is one of my personal favorites and the damage was there. Not as good as Ice Barrage, but if cold ain't your thing, I'd land here. I gave it an A for absolutely. Let me remind you that this tier list is strictly a Day 1 starter list, and the tiers will switch around as you continue to get more plus skills from skillers and gear. I decided to give a quick example of what I mean by putting together one of my favorite Magic Find setups. All skills were retested with 9 skillers and advanced gear, giving all fire skills a total of +39 from the Mage Fist and lightning and cold skills +38. For gear, we're using an Oculus, a Shaco, a 3-piece Towels using the Ami armor and belt, a +2 Lidless, Wartravs, a Nagel, and a Ravenfrost for rings with a pair of Mage Fists. After retesting all the skills with this new improved setup, T-Storm and Nova made a huge improvement and moved up to S tier. Remember, this is without using an Infinity. But by far, my favorite was Fireball and Combustion. It's definitely an S+ tier at this skill range. I personally don't like to spend currency on my Sorceress. I use her as an MF machine outside of maps while I invest into my secondary character that I plan on farming maps with. If you are starting as a Sorc for Season 3, I would suggest starting Ice Barrage and farming Endario non-stop the first few days. I promise RNG will eventually reward you with some staples, Shaco, Aki, Wartraff, Scolders, if you're lucky maybe some Sages. If you do plan on spending a lot of currency on your Sorc, T-Storm and Nova is the endgame go-to. But this still is the closed beta, and I do hear that they keep nerfing it. But if you want to use her as just an early magic finder, maybe rush your friends, help out the community, Ice Barrage will do the trick perfectly. Just remember that my opinion is worth everything you paid for, and I'm an expert on my opinion.
Yo, what do you think about the new Fist of the Heavens Paladin for Season 3?
Oh, don't get me started. FOH players are the Mercy mains on Overwatch. They are the Soraka bots on League, and the Druid healers on WoW. I could go on and on. Why?
Oh, I was thinking about playing one.
I think they're cool.